Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I thought I would chat with you kind of like it's a live stream, but I can't really do live streams where I live. My internet is just too slow out here in the country. But I hope that this will be interesting for you. It's going to be on a bunch of different topics, just like we were live streaming. So please put your comments below. I will answer all of them and just pretend we are live streaming, okay? So I went to the grocery store the other day. I had to pick up some medicine, and I saw that like all of their Taylor Farm chopped salads, which the Asian one is my utmost favorite, was on clearance on an end capped in the refrigerated section, and they were all marked down to $1.75. Well, here in Kansas, they're like $4.99 a bag. And so I picked up 4 of these for some of my lunches while I'm here during the day by myself. And as I'm putting them in my cart, I hear this lady behind me say, "I wouldn't do that if I were you." And I turned around and she goes, "I'm sorry, but I wouldn't do that if I were you." And I said, "Is that because of like the lettuce recall and the explosive diarrhea that they've been talking about on the news?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "But that was for lettuce, shredded lettuce. This is cabbage." And she goes, "Well, I still wouldn't do it." So I went ahead and bought it. I've already eaten some. I'm absolutely fine. It's been several days. My husband and I owned 2 rural grocery stores in towns of under 500 people. So I came home and I told my husband about the experience. And I said, "We've owned grocery stores. So we both know that when something like this is recalled, we pull it immediately off the shelf. And the ones on the shelf are safe to buy. They have not been recalled." And I immediately looked up the details of the recall. And again, it was shredded lettuce, things with shredded lettuce, and it was certain lots of them. Like always, you have to go through and check the UPCs and all these things. And the ones that are still on the shelf, well, they're okay. And the ones with cabbage are okay. And so I wasn't worried about it because I know that behind the scenes work that is done at the stores to ensure that safe food is being sold to customers and that anything with a recall is immediately being pulled. And I just thought, that goes to show the kind of scare and panic that goes into people. I started looking around after she told me this, and I looked and I was like, man, none of the bag stuff is selling. None of it is selling. It was all being reduced because of that scare. No one was buying any type of leafy green that was in a bag in that section, or the vegetables or anything. They had just boycotted all of that. And I understand being safe, but me knowing the backside of how that works in grocery stores, I wasn't scared at all to buy this and to bring it home and to consume it and to double check the recall list and to make sure that what I had was safe, and it was. Let me know if you've stopped buying bag salad because of this. I normally don't buy it because it costs too much, but if it's marked down like this and it's my favorite kind, I will pick some up and I will eat it for lunches at home. So I'm curious, what would you do if you saw like all these marked down? Would you just keep walking by like that other lady and say, "I'm not touching any of it"? Or would you go ahead and pick it up because you know that that's not included in the recall? Now, when we had small rural grocery stores, every now and then things would be recalled and people would be coming in the stores and trying to make sure that we knew about the recall so that we could pull the items. But we were on constant notifications to let us know when things were being recalled so that we could stay on top of it. Just because we were a small store didn't mean that we didn't have those communications or that we couldn't couldn't be proactive with those types of things. But even as a consumer, if you are worried that where you shop is not staying on top of things, most of us have iPhones, and I happen to be in Dillon's at the time. They have free Wi-Fi. So I just quickly pulled up the recall list and I was able to verify on my own that yes, indeed, I was correct. None of it included cabbage. And so this was safe for me to buy. So most of us as consumers have that ability to check right then to make sure, even if we're not completely convinced that our store may be on top of these recalls. And I don't blame anyone for not trusting their store to be on top of these recalls. I mean, sometimes they're not on top of the prices, right? I've had to have 2 refunds in the last couple of times I've gone shopping because they charged me the wrong price when I checked out. And you're like, why are they selling this at the wrong price? And if I didn't catch it, I'd just be out this money. So I don't blame anyone for not being confident in someone else following through. I also talked recently in one of my last videos about how package sizing has changed, and they're trying to make us think that this is normal now. And some of the things are being in smaller packages with the same price as the larger packages used to be in the day. I talked about how strawberries were being sold in like a half of a pint container for the price that I bought them at a pint like a year ago. I also talked about half loaves of bread being sold for what an entire loaf of bread used to cost. But I most recently went into Dollar General and I had to show you these candy bars that are now being sold at tiny micro sizes. This candy bar is 75 cents. Well, back in the day when we had a grocery store, our candy bars were $1, and we had a good profit margin off of those candy bars that were regular size. But these candy bars aren't even a full ounce. They are 0.76 of an ounce for 75 cents. So I just wanted to call this to your attention because I am continuing to see where they are selling things in smaller amounts for a smaller price to try to make us think that we're getting a better deal. But those smaller packages, you can bet they are still making a really good profit margin on hardly any product in them. I also wanted to let you know that I'm taking advantage of the 5% cash back using my Discover card for gasoline and for anything I purchase at a pharmacy for this quarter, July, August, and September. Every quarter, they offer a 5% cash back. I make sure that everything is paid off before my payment is due, and that way I never draw any interest, and I use it as a money-making situation, but I keep it on my calendar to make sure I don't miss any of those deadlines, because missing a deadline can totally mess you up, and then that 5% won't even matter. But if you're organized and you can stay debt-free on the things that you purchase, 5% back on gasoline and pharmacy purchases this quarter can help us a lot. And usually at least one quarter, they have 5% back on groceries. And I never want to miss that one. That helps a great deal as well. So many of you might wonder, how am I making it on such a low income? My income ranges between about $800 and $1,200 a month. This month, it's even going to be less because one of my passive income amounts dropped significantly. YouTube hasn't been paying that great. At one time, I got $400 for like a couple of months, and I was so excited thinking it would stay there, but it quickly dropped to $280 a month, and it has never gone up from that. So I supplement my income with little things that I can do along the way, whether it is mystery shopping or selling a few items on eBay. I've cut back on how much I leave the house, how much things I do, how often I shop, and that is how I have been making it. And I'm still enjoying my life. I'm still enjoying my garden. I'm still enjoying being home. And it's so much easier on me to be home than it is to go to work every single day, that I don't mind doing some things around here to make up the difference, or to cut back on some things to make up the difference. I'm still well well stocked, and that is a huge part of being able to control how much money I spend on month-to-month basis. Let me know if you have had to change any of your purchasing habits, if you've had to change how often you leave the house or what you are doing to make ends meet. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thank you for playing along with me like it was a live stream. I look forward to reading your comments. I hope to see you in the next video.